Failed IVF. Should you stay or change clinic? Your IVF cycle failed. Now you may be asking, should I try again with the same clinic or should I leave? One failed cycle cannot answer that question, but the way your clinic reviews the cycle can tell you a lot. The decision after failed IVF. Your IVF cycle failed. Now you may be asking, should I try again with the same clinic or should I leave? This is a very understandable question. You may feel sad, angry, or confused. You may think something was missed. You may also worry about losing more time, money, emotional energy. Here is the first answer. One failed IVF cycle cannot tell you if your clinic is good or bad. Before you decide, you need to understand what happened during the cycle. In this video, I'll show you how to think about 3 choices. Stay with the same clinic, get a second opinion, or move to another clinic. Why you can trust this framework? I'm Dr. Handan Namlı. I'm an obstetrician, gynecologist, and fertility specialist. I work with IVF patients for more than 20-25 years. After a failed cycle, I don't look only at the final pregnancy test. I review the full IVF process step by step. This is the same framework I'll share with you now. A failed IVF cycle is not one event. IVF is not one single event. It is a group of steps. First, the ovaries respond to the medication. Then the eggs are collected. Some eggs may be mature and some may not. Fertilization happens next. Then the embryos start to grow. An embryo may be transferred or frozen. After transfer, the embryo still needs to implant. Then the early pregnancy needs to continue. A result can be lower than expected at any of these steps. Maybe the ovaries produce fewer follicles than expected. Maybe there were eggs, but only a few were mature. Fertilization may have been low. The embryos may have stopped growing. An embryo may have been transferred but did not implant. Or implantation happened, but the pregnancy did not continue. These outcomes are not the same. They may not have the same reason, and they should not automatically lead to the same next plan. So don't start only with, should I leave my clinic? Start with, where did my cycle go differently from what we expected? That is a much more useful question. What your clinic should explain. Your clinic may not be able to give you one clear reason for the failed cycle. Sometimes we cannot find one certain cause, but your team should still review the cycle with you. They should explain what happened at each step, what was expected for your age and situation, what was not expected, what may have been the main limiting factor, what should stay the same next time, what could reasonably change, and why. A completely new plan is not always needed. Sometimes the first plan was reasonable, but the biological result was not good. Repeating part of the same plan is not always poor care, but the new test, treatment, or protocol should not be added only because the cycle failed. There should be a clear reason. Ask your doctor, after reviewing my cycle, why is this the right plan for me? When staying may be reasonable. Staying with the same clinic may be reasonable when you receive a clear review. The clinic should give you your full records. Your doctor should listen to your questions and answer them with respect. The team should explain what it will keep the same and what it may change. The reason for each change should make sense. Cost should be clear. You should not feel pushed to buy extra tests or treatments with weak evidence. Most importantly, you should still trust the team and the next plan. Good communication does not prove that the IVF laboratory is excellent, but respect, clear information, and patient involvement are important parts of good fertility care. Sometimes the medical plan is reasonable, but the explanation was poor. A second, better conversation may help before you decide to leave. If clear explanation like this help you, you can join my free clarity letter. I share simple, evidence-based fertility information to help you prepare for your next conversation. You can find the link below this video. When a second opinion may help. A second opinion is not the same as changing clinics. Another fertility specialist can review your records and check whether the explanation and next plan are reasonable. A second opinion may help when you still do not understand what happened. It may also help when the result was very different from what you expected. Perhaps the same problem happened in more than one cycle. Fertilization or embryo growth may have been low more than once. You may have had several transfers without pregnancy or repeated pregnancy losses. Maybe donor treatment, a major procedure, or several expensive add-ons are being discussed. You may still have frozen embryos and want more clarity before using them. Or perhaps your clinic will not give you your full records. One failed embryo transfer should not automatically be called recurrent implantation failure. Even after several failed transfers, there is not one test or treatment that is right for everyone. The review must be personal and based on the patient's history and previous treatment. The second doctor may suggest a different plan, but the second doctor may also agree with your first clinic. That can still be useful. It may show that the first plan was reasonable, even though the result was disappointing. You can get a second opinion without moving your embryos or changing clinics. When changing clinics may be reasonable. Changing clinics may be reasonable when there is an ongoing problem with safety, trust, clear information, communication, or experience. For example, you cannot get a proper review of the failed cycle. Your questions are repeatedly dismissed. You cannot receive your complete records. The clinic cannot explain why the treatment is being repeated or changed. New costs appear without a clear explanation. You feel pushed to buy treatments with weak evidence. The clinic uses words like guaranteed success or concerns about safety, consent, or medical records are not solved. Another clinic may also be a better choice if your current team does not have the experience or service needed for your situation. But we do not have strong evidence that the simply changing clinics after one failed cycle improves the chance of live birth. A new clinic may offer different experience, another laboratory, or a more suitable plan. The possible benefit comes from a useful change, not only from new address. Do not choose by one success rate. A high success rate on a clinic website does not automatically mean that clinic is best for you. Clinics may treat very different patients. One clinic may work with more older patients or more complex fertility problems. Clinics may also report different results. Pregnancy per transfer is not the same as live birth per transfer, and one transfer result is not the same as the total result after one egg collection. When you compare clinics, try to compare the same age group, egg source, treatment type, and outcome, preferably live birth. Success rates are important, but they are only one part of your decision. 7 questions to ask after failed IVF cycle. You do not need to remember every medical detail. Take these 7 questions to your appointment. First, where did my cycle differ from what we expected? Second, what do you think was the main limiting factor? Third, what is still uncertain? 4, what would you keep the same next time? 5, what would you change and why? 6, do the extra tests or treatments improve live birth for patients like me? And 7, an independent second opinion be reasonable? The quality of these answers may tell you more than the negative pregnancy test alone. Make the decision from clarity. You do not have to decide in the first painful hours after the result. but do not wait too long without medical advice. Age, ovarian response, frozen embryos, and other health factors may make time important. First, collect your records. Review the full cycle. Ask what was expected, what was unexpected, and what may reasonably change. Then you may decide to stay. You may choose a second opinion, or you may feel that another clinic is a better fit. The most useful question is not only, did my IVF fail? It is, do I understand and trust the plan for what comes next? If you need an independent specialist to review your previous IVF treatment, my IVF Second Look reviews the cycle step by step. It is designed to give you more clarity before your next decision. It supports but does not replace the medical team responsible for your treatment. You can find the details below this video. Make your next decision from clarity, not from panic.